Hey guys, it's Jamie with Adventures by Jamie. Today we have sort of a home vlog for you in response to your interest to learn more about my power wheelchair, my adaptive vehicle, and you also wanted to hear some silly stories about living life with a disability. So we're going to cover all of that today. First, let's get into my power chair. This is a Quantum Rival. I've had this chair since about 2016 and absolutely love it. So the first function of it is the tilt option, and it does exactly what it sounds like. It tilts the chair backwards. The seat and the backrest go back. So this is super great for those that can't shift their weight on their own. I thankfully can do that, but this helps for people that have a lot of issues with pressure sores because it redistributes your weight. So there's not so much on your bottom and your back. So it does take off, that weight in a more reclined position. So the tilt is definitely good for movie watching with Kevin in the evenings. So the next option is very similar to the tilt, and that is simply recline. And that, instead of moving the base and the back, it only moves the back. So that, I just have to change the function here on our joystick, and it just goes backwards. So super simple, right? The next option we have with this chair is the elevating footrest, which I love that because you don't often get the chance to stretch out when you're in a wheelchair. So this is super wonderful to get those much needed daily midday leg stretches. For me, I have full movement and feeling in my legs, so this is a wonderful stretch. Sometimes when I'm doing work in my office, I can just put my feet up and have a nice little leg stretch. Also, again, very good for movie viewing in the evening. A lot of times I will have the legs up like this. I will then tilt my chair, which is, again, super comfortable. And then depending on how I'm feeling, I might even recline a little bit. So it's like I have a mobile recliner. I can't drive when it's in this position, but super comfy. Now the last option this chair has is probably my favorite. It is the seat elevator. So again, it does exactly what it sounds like. My seat will elevate so I can reach things out of a cabinet or off a higher shelf. And what I particularly love to use this function for is when Kevin and I go out to dinner, because it gives us a lot more option of sitting at a high top table, or maybe we're going to an event and there's a lot of people and I can't see over them, of course, being very short, but with the seat elevator, it takes care of that. Still going up. Now with a lot of the other features of the Quantum Rival, you can't always drive when you're using some of them, and that is for safety reasons. Now when you're elevated like this, you still can drive, but I'll show you it is much, much slower than if you were to be driving normally, because you really don't want to, be going super, super fast when you're up this high. And I'm going to do a little spin for you so you can actually see how high we are. So a lot of people are curious, how fast does this thing go? Which honestly, I'm not quite sure its top speed, but it is absolutely faster than what I just showed you when we were fully elevated. I'm going to spin around and show you just how fast we can go. Definitely speedy. So now I want to show you my adaptive van. This is a 2016 Chrysler Town & Country, and it is a Braun Mobility vehicle. So Braun Mobility is absolutely amazing with customizing vehicles to fit all of your mobility needs. Now, I used to drive years ago, but I had a spinal fusion, and because of that, I can't rotate my neck from side to side very far. And with that, I don't personally feel comfortable driving because I can't necessarily see properly if I'm at, say, a four-way stop to make sure I'm not going to hit oncoming traffic or be hit by oncoming traffic. So I have made the decision to no longer drive. So I'm going to open it up so you can see exactly how I get in, how I lock in, and you know, this is how I travel the world. So when you come in the van, you'll see the floor looks like carpeting, but it's actually not. It's rubber. So that makes it very, very good because with a wheelchair, you're inevitably going to track in dirt or grass or sand or mud if it's raining. So this type of flooring is super, super helpful. So for me, because my chair is larger, I can't just pull in here and make a quick turn to get into the passenger seat. So what I do, I come up towards the edge. Now normally this door is closed, but I come up to the edge and I pull around. And I align with, there is a easy lock box on the floor. And there's also a pin on the bottom of my chair. And so that is how I stay securely in the van. So I just pull up and click in. And now we're ready to go on an adventure. Once I'm fully secure in the van and locked in with the easy lock, the only way to get back out is to click on this button right in front of us that is to release me. Now the car has to be off in order for that to work. I can't have the car on at all or it won't let me release. That's a safety function. So Kevin just, or whoever's driving me, will push the button. It releases and I am free to go. You'll see there's the easy lock that keeps me nice and safe in the van. And then to get out, we just sort of do a few little maneuvers within the vehicle so I can become very squared off with the ramp. We don't want to drive off of the side of the ramp, that's for sure. So a few little twists, make sure that you are properly aligned, don't run into things like I just did, and off you go. So we've showed you what my wheelchair can do, and we've also showed you a little tour of my adaptive vehicle. And now we want to give you a few funny stories or interesting stories that just sort of go along with living life with a disability. So what story should we tell first? What do you think?
Well, the little kid stories are always cute because they don't know any better, and
little kid stories are the best. So we have two of those.
One of them happened many, many years ago. I was in I believe it was a Target. It might have been a Walmart. I don't remember which store. But I was with a friend and we were just going along our way, and a little girl, probably 5 or 6, marched up to me very determined, very, just straight faced, and put her hands on her little hips and said, "Why can't you walk?" And, I...
Like a boss lady.
Like a boss lady, yeah. She meant business. And her mom, mind you, was hiding behind the coat racks or the clothing racks because, in that moment, she really wasn't trying to claim her child. But I'm trying to figure out, how am I going to explain to this little kid why I can't walk? And so realistically, without skipping a beat, my friend says, "Oh, it's because she's lazy." And that was enough for this little girl. She's like, "Oh, okay."
Lazy. I have to drive, and all kinds of things.
I like a chauffeur. What?
Oh, okay. I'd do anything for a beautiful woman.
Hello.
Yeah.
But yes, that was adorable with this little girl. Why can't you walk? Oh, I'm lazy. So that worked for her. Now, do you want to tell the story of our Halloween little kids?
Yeah, we had a little trick-or-treater one time come up. It was a little boy. And
so cute.
What did he say? He said, "I hope you feel better." And, it's like, thank you.
Yeah, I mean,
because he thought like maybe Jamie was...
I was sick. There was,
in some
it was
kind
so
of,
sweet.
Some kind of an ailment, and but he was a real neat kid.
He was very sweet. He had come up to get his candy and sort of turned back around as he was leaving to say, "I hope you feel better," which was really sweet. But there was another little boy, I think it was the following year, and again came up, got his candy. Usually Kevin and I are out there handing out candy together, and he was maybe at the base of our driveway. We were closer to the garage, and just screams, "Sorry about your wheelchair!" Hilarious.
Yeah, it's like, okay. I mean,
and so what do you say?
Everybody look.
Thanks. I guess, I mean, you just smile. He's like the 6-7-year-old kid. I don't know, but sorry about your wheelchair. It's just, I really appreciate it though, truly. Like, I know the mom at, the Target or Walmart, like we were saying, was hiding behind the clothing rack. And for me personally, maybe...
Is the coast clear?
Is it clear?
Junior, is it close?
But for me personally, I don't mind, I'm completely open with people, whether you're a child, an adult. I'd prefer you coming up and asking me politely, what is, I hate to say wrong with me, because there's nothing wrong with me, but why am I in this chair? What is my disability? I'm happy to discuss that with people, but with kids, it's just, there's just no filter there, and
sometimes those little boys, they come up and they want to play with a joystick right here. I don't know, you can't really see it on the camera, but they just come up in a restaurant and just start playing with a joystick, and their mom will come like totally mortified.
I have to be very careful to make sure if there's a child around, I keep it off, because again, like no filter, no personal space. It's like, oh, video game. Like I swear that's what they equate it to, and they just come over and they're shaking the, the joystick.
Jamie's one of them that's figured out how to doof the adults. into getting the best toys. And I think that boy wanted to play with Jamie's toy.
Yeah,
And,
he definitely did. So the last story that we have for you actually happened just yesterday. My friend and I, Jorge, which you all have met before, had gone out to lunch, and we came home and...
You went out to lunch with another guy?
I did, I'm sorry.
After all we've been through? You went to lunch with another guy?
Oh my, okay, moving on. So we get home, and normally I would get out of the vehicle in the driveway because there's a lot more room. But on this particular afternoon, it was stormy. And so Kevin had his car out of the garage, and there was more than enough space for us to pull in and put the ramp down and for me to get out. So that's what we did. And we had saved carpet. I used to have carpet throughout the house, and now we have hardwood floor. And so we saved a section of carpet that we can have in the garage. So mainly for me, so like days like yesterday, if it's raining, I can dry off my tires before coming in the house. Works perfectly. So we have one already laid out, but we had a second section of it rolled up. Well, I had backed over that section a little evidently too far. Before we ever alerted Kevin, I was trying to just get off of this carpet. So I had Jorge, stand on the carpet or hold the carpet so I could just move off. Like in my head, I'm thinking I just need to be able to drive forward or drive, turn to left or right, just get off of this carpet. But I needed someone to hold it because I was dragging it everywhere. Now keep in mind, this carpet is by the door that leads into our house. I had driven all the way out of the garage. So I am now in our driveway trailing this carpet, and Jorge's trying to lift my chair. You can't lift this chair, even two of them together. You just can't lift the chair. It's heavy.
So I went to get my floor jack.
Well, at that point I said, you're gonna have to go and get Kevin, because I thought, we're getting nowhere. And I'm seeing the sky, it's at that point the rain had
turning
stopped.
Angry.
Yes, it was turning
falling.
Very angry. And I'm like, oh, this is not good. I can't move. I am completely
stuck.
stuck.
The whole world swallowed her up.
It did.
That one moment, and
it was bad. I was stuck. It went from like a few drops of rain to torrential downpour.
It was like a flip of a switch.
And I'm, screaming like, oh my gosh, get the umbrella, because,
had to get an
it's
umbrella.
a power chair, you guys. Like, it can't get wet like that. Oh my goodness.
We got an umbrella to cover her, and then I tried to free it with the floor jack and different angles of pulling, and I had to get my utility knife and start cutting out chunks of carpet to figure out what was going on, because I couldn't see under there. And and then I saw that the carpet was knotted up in there, and we had to throw it. We had to bail Jamie out, and I realized a lot of it was just the way the carpet rolled up. Because it wasn't tacked down. It rolled up into the axle area, in between the wheel and the body. And with the threaded bolts that stuck down, it basically bit right into a wad of carpet. And that immobilized her chair, and
I was going nowhere.
She was going nowhere. She needed a little help.
I needed a lot of help. So that was
a little bit of help.
That typically doesn't happen to me, things like that. But that, you want to talk about adventures by Jamie? Well, that was quite the adventure. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and learning a little bit more about me and the disability world and hearing some of our absolute crazy stories in regards to living life with a disability. If you like videos like this and want to see more, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up, and definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you never miss a future video. All right, guys, we'll be talking to you real soon. Bye.